living your truth is a revolution in itself. Being free in your mind, your body, your spirit is a revolution in itself. I believe firmly, and I always will believe, that the greatest thing you can do to combat any type of oppression, anything that's trying to dominate you, anything that's trying to control you, is to be as free as possible within yourself. And I will die on that hill. Hello. Hi. I don't even know exactly where to begin, but I guess I'll start with saying today is June 11th. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And I have been feeling very, I guess, a little bit torn. And it's brought up a lot of questions, I guess, for myself about, excuse me, about just about how I move through the world when shit is hitting the fan, basically. And I have beliefs and stances, right, that I take on things that I don't talk about on social media or publicly. And I realized that the reason why I don't is because I don't want to open up that dialogue to anybody, like just anybody. If I'm going to talk to somebody or engage in conversation with someone about whatever's happening, it's more of a conscious effort on my part. Like I'm reaching out to somebody and asking, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Or can you break this down for me? Whatever. I want me wanting to gain more insight a lot of the time. Um and that's how I engage with world issues, things that are happening in my city, whatever. And I had a moment yesterday online on Instagram where we're being bombarded with videos, with information, with people are absolutely furious. Of course, people are furious with what's going on, rightfully so. And I realized that one of the things that I do to counteract oppression, things that are happening that are oppressive, is I don't get loud on Instagram. I don't start, I don't that's not where I go. I tend to try to find the moments of, okay, I need to now really take care of myself because this is and I know what a privilege, right? To be able to just say, I don't really want to look at that right now, which is kind of the case, especially being a mother to young children that feel everything, right? If I am all fucked up about something, guaranteed it's going to be a rough day. That's just it. And so I have to be extra mindful about what I'm consuming, how much of it am I consuming, what's it doing to my body, my energy, all these things, because it's not just affecting me, it's affecting my entire family unit. So, but I had a moment yesterday looking at everything and realizing that what I do for myself, my family, and my clients is I really want to help people. I want to guide people to back to their freedom, right? I want everybody to be free. I want them to be sovereign, self-governed. You are your own authority. You're not looking outside of yourself for the answers type of thing. And that actually goes hand in hand with rising up against oppressive systems, rising up against anyone that is trying to control you. And I like some people, that's what they're here to do. They're here to be on the front lines. They're here to um kick the doors down. Like, they're here to do that type of work. Get up in the system's face and demand what's going on. Look at me and talk to me. Tell me what's up. I'm about to kick this shit in, whatever. That's their path. That's what they're here to do. And I am having to realize, and I feel like this is a case for a lot of people because we see that so often. It's almost like if you're not doing if you're not doing this type of activism, then what are you doing? Or you're not standing with me if you're not doing this type of work, which is it's just not true. But it's so hard to see that and feel like I'm doing enough, because by you working on yourself, by you working on shedding beliefs that were pushed on you from the moment you were born, and maybe in past lives, even, too, it's you are doing that type of work. You absolutely are doing that type of work because that is what they're trying to keep you from doing. So if you are unraveling yourself from the binds that they've put you in, you are doing the activism. You are rebelling. You are doing everything that those people are doing. It's just that it's a little quieter because you're doing it on your own for yourself. But if you think about the ripples that can cause, the effect that it has on the collective when you're doing that work on yourself, and people may think writing is frivolous, painting is frivolous, whatever. But let's think about this. What if you create a piece of art and it absolutely lights someone else up and they're the ones that are going out there on the front lines? Do you know what I mean? Or they're the ones that think of something and they're able to dismantle a law do you know what I'm saying? You like this, we have no idea how powerful we are or what we do, how what we do will affect the collective or affect others. So for us to feel, now I'm talking to myself, but like for us to feel like we aren't doing enough is also us living from the outside in. Because ultimately, I feel like I am doing enough for me, for my family, in this moment, at this point in time in my life. I do feel like I'm doing enough. And I feel like the work that I do in working with my clients, working with them to unravel themselves from systemic thought patterns is big work. And I'm proud to do that. I'm so proud to do that. I know that I came here with I don't even know what to call it, like I'm like with a chip on my shoulder for freedom, but something like that, like I am here to activate freedom within people. That's what I'm here to do. And in doing that, I think that is very rebellious in a place and a time where the powers that be want you to be disconnected from yourself, disconnected actually from everybody else as well. And they want you to be reliant on what they are giving you, dependent on it, and just not even questioning. And I just don't vibe with that. And anybody that works with me or is in my immediate circle, that's not how we do things, you know? And when, of course, it creeps in because this is how we were raised. And that's why you have a community where you can lean on others and they can help to show the mirror and show you yourself again, where it's like, hey, it's all good. There's no judgment here. And really, the way that you can move through all of this more quickly is if you're approaching things with neutrality. So if you're neutral about the decisions that you have been making for X amount of time, and then finally you notice them like, oh, I actually only do this one task, or I only do this thing because of something somebody told me when I was a child or when I was in high school or whenever it was, months ago, whatever. That's the only reason why I do it. So there's a tendency to do look at a situation like that and beat yourself up. Like, how could I be so stupid? I don't even want to do that. I don't like doing that. Why am I doing it? Oh God, guilty, all these things. But if you remove all the emotions out of it and then you start to look at it objectively, neutrally, and just say, wow, I literally only do this thing because of this, this, and that. What would I rather be doing? Oh, I'd rather be doing this. What can I do to get myself out of the situation that I'm in so that I can align myself with what I actually want to do? Right. And you can ask for guidance around this from your higher self, from God, from your guides. You can totally lean in on that type of support if you feel that you don't have the support in your immediate within your immediate circle to help you do that. Man, I feel like there's so much to talk about with this. And I definitely feel that I'm rambling, which I don't know, maybe you're not surprised about at this point, but um yes, I basically want to see and validate you if you are out there looking at everything that's going on thinking, "Wow, I should be doing more." But I can't do more because I feel like I'm going to shut down, or I've tried to do more and I did shut down, or, like you're recovering from, I've been reposting and reposting and reposting, or DMing people, or reacting to comments, or whatever it is. And your body is just like, you know what? This is not right for me. Can't do it. It's okay. There are people out there that are meant to do that. Be more visible with the activism, be more visible with the fuck yous. That is their bag. That's what they're doing. That doesn't mean it has to be what you're doing. The way you can do it is to realize that living your truth is a revolution in itself. Being free in your mind, your body, your spirit is a revolution in itself. Okay, these things are rebellious because that is not the way things are supposed to be, right? We're not supposed to be like that, which really, it's your birthright. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. So the next time you are starting to feel like you're not doing enough because so and so over here is asking you every fucking day, did you see the news today? Did you da 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 da? Did it? It's like sometimes you just can't engage, and that's how I feel when I have people around me that are constantly wanting to talk about the news and what's going on and how they can't even handle it and blah blah. It's like, okay, then why are you watching it? And I don't want to listen to it either. Like that's and every there are so many people on this planet, and I feel like sometimes this is where those types of people get so angry because they're like, if everybody thinks that way, then no one's gonna stand up to what's going on. No one's gonna, speak out against the wrongdoings and things like that. And I understand that aspect, but I don't buy it. I feel like that also comes from a sort of scarcity lack situation where you don't think there's going to be enough people speaking up about it. I think there's going to be plenty of people. And actually, I think that if we aren't doing the work internally, trying to free ourselves from all of this stuff, then yeah, okay, maybe no one will go out and do it because no one's going to feel able to do it. They're not going to feel free enough to connect with their inner compass and be like, this is wrong and I need to say something. They're going to be too afraid to do it because they're still in the system. So if you're out here freeing people from the system, then perhaps those are the people that are going to go out and stand next to you, type of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So before we're judging people for not being as vocal or public about their beliefs and the wrongdoings that are happening everywhere, I feel like we just need to release a little bit of the judgment and just continue to do what you can do from a place that feels super aligned and from your heart, because your heart is not going to lead you astray. And you'll know in your body, you'll know if you're doing something that's a little bit off, something's not quite right. You'll know. Um, yeah. And even, it's like little things that you can do for yourself to be a little rebel. You can just say no to certain things that you don't want to do anymore. No, thank you. I don't, no, thank you. You don't have to explain if you don't want to. You can make something just because you want to, because that fills you up for the rest of your day, for the rest of who knows how long, right? It's like, oh my gosh, I did this thing. I feel so good. Now I'm doing all my other tasks from a place of wholeness. Like now I feel whole again. I don't know. It's this is such a big thing that I see now, and I know it is because of social media. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be so overbearing if it wasn't in your face at all times. I mean, I literally yesterday I was looking at all these things, and then I posted something like, look, I made this thing to help you. I made this workbook to free you, to begin your journey to free yourself from the systems. That's the biggest fuck you can do. Free yourself from these systems. Get out of there. Get back into your body. Get back in touch with yourself. And afterwards, I started hearing the voices of people that I know thinking, oh my God, look at her. She's using this as an opportunity to plug her own stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I panicked, listening in on these fake conversations that I was creating in my head. I started to panic thinking, oh my God, people are going to think that I'm trying to capitalize on what's going on and talk about what I'm doing over here and blah, blah, blah. And I literally started crying. I felt so bad thinking what I would be devastated to think that people thought that's where my heart is, that that's what I'm trying to do, is to capitalize off of other people's pain and suffering. I would be so devastated. And I stopped thinking about it. I stopped checking. I mean, it was one of those things where you just put your phone down, pick it back up, open Instagram, put your phone down, pick it back up, open Instagram. And you're just in this loop of just, you don't even know what you're doing, right? It's just automatic, sick, right? And I said, okay, I put my phone down, I put on some music, and I just started to clean. And I didn't even do a very good job. I started tidying up some of the art supplies and stuff for my boys. And I don't even know if I did anything in there, I'll be honest with you. But I had a really good time singing and dancing with my 1-year-old who loves music. And it switched me up, right? It got me out of the thought loops. It got me out of my head and it got me into my body, into the moment. What am I doing now? That type of thing. And then finally, I went back to think about it. Is that true? Is this true? You know, is this fake conversation that I created between other people about me, would it even be true and valid? And the answer is no, because I am not trying to capitalize off of anything else. I believe firmly, and I always will believe, that the greatest thing you can do to combat any type of oppression, anything that's trying to dominate you, anything that's trying to control you, is to be as free as possible within yourself. And I will die on that hill. So I just wanted to come here today and ramble on about it in case anybody out there was feeling the way that I have been feeling, thinking that what you're doing is not enough. I want you to know that working on yourself is always enough. And when you're working on yourself, you really do have to limit how much you can take in, because it's hard to make extra space for that type of stuff. And so it's okay to put your blinders up a little bit, and be there the way that you can be there, and absolutely do not abandon yourself, because I feel like in those moments, that is the worst thing that you can do. In any of these types of moments, the worst thing that you can do is abandon your heart and who you are, abandon your truth. And so I hope that this helps you. I hope that this just makes you feel supported and seen and loved. And if you want to talk about it or whatever, you can always reach out, and I am happy to chat. Be prepared for a rambly voice note back. Anyway, yes, whatever. Thank you so much for being here. I could keep going, I guess, but what would I be saying? The same thing over and over and over again. I love you. Thank you for being here. And let's rebel together and free ourselves. Okay? Okay.